Hey, what's up, everybody? Blueprints and Barbells here. So I came upon this little cool video I saw by this YouTube channel called Open Spaces. So they posted this interesting video. I think they mostly do residential stuff. Let me check. Yeah. This one's about a long-lost Philip Johnson home. And if you guys don't know, Philip Johnson is an American architect, very influential in bringing a lot of architecture to the United States. I believe he was a art gallery critic first, and then he kind of studied architecture. Um, Here you go. You guys see that we were at the Architectural Digest. You guys will probably know his most famous work. This is almost in every 3D program. It's the Glass House, which is a combination of international style, right? Like Mies van der Rohe. So there's supposedly this is gonna show me 11 things. What the heck? Where's the 11 ones? Whatever. Anyways, he is iconic, right? And I guess this home here was designed for a family. I forgot the name, Mark Wolf, which they owned, I think, a business, and then they got Philip Johnson to make this for them. I think it's 1949. So this is before. I think the video, I kind of got a big glimpse of it. I think it shows kind of redemption, right, of Philip's pro-Nazi ideals, but this family that he made the home for was Jewish, and I think they have a little video at the end where it talks about that. So
the thing that's really interesting about this house is it's kind of bastard stepchild of the Glass House.
yeah,
Everyone knows the Glass House, but no one knows about the Wolf House.
yeah.
And we certainly didn't either until this house became available.
And it's funny because it's true, right? All of Philip Johnson's stuff is kind of like this experimenting on different styles, right? And the Glass House is actually very similar to this, except that this is, he's using wood here, wood there, and is this after the Glass House? Let me see. When was Glass House built? Johnson. So the Glass House was built in 1949, and this is what it looks like, right? So that's kind of why everybody is like, what the heck? And it's also cool because this is located in a piece of land where he did a lot of little projects. There's actually one that I really like. Little monster. Here it is. So he has a bunch of things here in his private residence, right? So the Glass House, obviously the most famous. This is a secret entrance to his art gallery. But he built other projects here. Like, look at this one here. That's cool. The sculpture gallery. It's very nice. He built this thing, which kind of reminds me of the thing it is Miniature Pavilion of the New York. There you go. Private library. It looks like a castle. He did a ghost house. This is my favorite here, the Monster. It's just look at it, man. This exterior, right? And at the time, there's organic forms are not even being demonstrated. So he has a lot of stuff there. So that's what he means. It's like a house that he didn't think it was.
This house shares the same
Johnson.
build date as the Glass House. My name is Jeremy Parker.
Which is true.
My name is 𝗦𝗢𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗍, and we are at the Wolf House in Newburgh, New York.
This home was built in 1949.
Very beautiful. Look at those. Look at the framing of the site, the river. Such a beautiful space. Clean too, right? It's just literally wood floor, pretty much white.
Architect is
interior.
Philip Johnson. Philip Johnson was preeminent American architect who is responsible partly for bringing in this international style to the Americas from Europe.
Exactly.
And was working alongside architects like Mies van der Rohe in developing this kind of style.
Yeah.
Built a handful of residential spaces in this area throughout the Northeast before he moved on to a more robust postmodern period.
Mm-hmm.
This
you
style
can see here too, this kind of international style, right? Ram Koolhaas, his pillow tees, right? See here, these 4-inch circular columns. Probably has a crazy structure here. And the reason these kind of structures work is they're like a rigid box. So when you create a rigid box, you kind of
style is not specifically Philip Johnson's. It's kind of like a style of a greater school and theory of architecture. Definitely Philip Johnson was playful in certain areas, I think, and interjected his own vision and his interpretation of what a space could be.
We actually were very lucky to meet the family when they saw some press clippings online. We had been searching for the family for many months after we purchased the home. Unfortunately, the contact had been lost, and we were really grateful when the grandchild reached out to us because his grandfather was the one who grew up in the home. So he called us up, said, "It's my grandfather's 70th birthday. He grew up in the house. Could we bring him to the house as his surprise?" We said, absolutely. And on top of that, they said, like, we have a bunch of archive materials that we would love to share with you. So when they came to the house, Michael was his name, Michael Wolf, and it was his mother, Ruth Wolf, who I commissioned Philip Johnson. She was...
Wow, look at that view, man. Like, every house has this giant window, which is amazing. So bringing like a lot of that natural light and nature into the building.
The New York City socialite. The husband, Benjamin Wolf, was a prominent department store owner. They were Jewish. And she was really the one who spearheaded the kind of the commissioning of Philip Johnson. When they came to the house, they also gave us digitized, never seen footage of the home being built. So you get to actually see a cameo appearance by Philip Johnson himself. You see the house being constructed from the ground up.
And we have photographs of the family, some news clippings of the
Look at the site, like just look at where this house is, like all around it, like this beautiful landscape. Overlooking the river, like that's a tiny, small home, but like that's amazing.
Department store, Stearns department store, which Benjamin.
And you can kind of see here, like there's these kind of the style, right? Even the glass house, right? All the main amenities are in the kind of central core, right? And then you have this circulation around the central core. So that's kind of what you're seeing here. I'm assuming this portion is kind of the center of the house, and it's divided into two sides, right? And then on this side you have probably the living room
Wolf, the father, was the owner of Stearns department store in downtown Newburgh when it was thriving. So yeah, just a really amazing backstory that was really missing. And when we bought the house, went on Facebook and we were approaching every Wolf that we could find, asking if they had any connection to this house, and we couldn't find anybody, and we eventually just gave up. And it was, only a couple years later that they reached out to us. So we are in communication with them.
They've just reached out to us recently because they were going to be on the East Coast, and they wanted to share the home with.
All right, sorry. I'll pause for a second.
Offer them the house because I think it's important to keep that conversation going. The way the home interior decor was designed, it was very different. It was like federal style furniture. There was a Steinway piano on the corner. Like if you look at the original Zillow listing, it's like very confusing, right? The clashing of aesthetics. And so the way it was shown to us, there's a reason why a lot of people were questioning whether or not it really was a Philip Johnson. The house itself, there had been 3 previous owners prior to us. They had taken liberties to the exterior of the home, so the original design of the home had not been maintained up till the date that we had purchased the home. It really just compromised the original vision, the original vision of Philip Johnson's footprint. So what Jeremy and I had discussed was that we really wanted to take it back to the original designs. Jeremy, having his background in architecture, found the original floor plans at the Avery Architectural Library at Columbia. We got those scans over. All of the scans have exact specs on like what kind of wood, how many planks, what are the measurements throughout every single, for every single room. So we really didn't have to do much guesswork. It was already laid out for us.
Here, just look at the images they've shown through the house, right? Every room is naturally lit, so it's not they're not artificially lighting it. And it looks very nice, very subtle, very clean.
And most of our job was just to restore it back to its original design.
Part of the process in the restoration and the preservation came to light when we started to work in the kitchen space and embarked on that restoration. Circling back to what I was saying earlier about preservation, about how it was really...
Oh my goodness, look at that freaking view. Now that's, I mean, now you see why he picked those giant windows. Just look at this. And it's almost like very artistic, right? You have this framing on the right side, right? This kind of picturesque landscape kind of becoming this kind of outdoor river landscape. Like it's almost if you're looking at a painting here, like how he framed the views. And I'm sure he knew next door was in this house, so these windows are on purpose. But then you look at this main window at the living room space, like just that looking outside, like it's literally a picture.
Important for me to make sure that everything in this house is represented as it was originally intended to, as it was presented in the drawings as close to possible.
Oh, that's cool. So I guess those are for cooling. You see there's like vents on there? So it's to get natural air from the riverfront and to cool the space down. That's very cool.
So we spent about 3 years
working
on that, removing all the exterior and putting all new cypress on that we had custom milled and hung and grooved. Same exact number of panels that are represented there, opening up the venting system. When it came to the kitchen, people know this, but mid-century modern homes aren't always known for their kitchens. It was kind of more of a utilitarian space. So we thought maybe this is an opportunity for us to be a little bit creative and to interject something that's a little bit contemporary. We felt like us as designers and creators and artists, it was really important for us to keep this narrative open and move this into the next chapter of dialogue and the next chapter of conversation about what it means to design a space.
Oh, there's a clear story there too. Very nice. So you kind of see here, kind of what I was talking about, right? You have this main circulation space with all your there's probably a restroom on this side, but then here you have a clear story on this top side. Lets all this natural light in, and then you have window everywhere. And look how nice and lit this space is. I'm trying to look at the shadows. And it seems the sun is coming from this way right now. So even when the sun is not facing directly here, like it's just, look at this ambient lighting. It looks pretty dang good.
Space, or to live in a space. And the kitchen was really exciting because we partnered with USM Modular, which is a Swiss company, on this system that was designed by Fritz Haller in 1961. Wow. It's a truly modular system that's designed to live and move with you as you move through life. And I just think that that's such a beautiful approach. For me working in architecture and Jiminy working in design, us coming together in this space, we certainly did not want to move in the direction of this very standardized American build system, which is utilizing very toxic materials that aren't even water soluble in these spaces that eventually, after 10 years time, just get thrown away. True sustainability comes from working with structures that are existing, maybe modifying those structures that are existing, maybe learning and utilizing these materials that are already there. Do we really need to demo everything and build up? And how those challenges ultimately, again, inform the final design, right? I think that that is really kind of a beautiful process.
Yeah.
We rent out the Wolf House on different platforms. We are also trying to actively develop arts and cultural programming here, where we're trying to partner with different art institutions and galleries.
That's awesome.
If they're interested in doing like adjacent programming upstate. We participated in Upstate Art Weekend.
I think that's really cool, right? They're not only taking a piece of iconic architecture, Philip Johnson, right? They not only remodel it to look how it used to look, they've keep it pretty much iconic, and they're also renting it out, so you get to sleep in this house. I almost wonder what the rate was. I want to sleep on there. And then not only that, they're contributing back to culture, right? They're encouraging people to come here and actively meet and gather and spread their artistic form, which is actually what Philip Johnson did. He would invite all these architects from all over the world to come meet, talk to his students, and encourage this conversation, not just about architecture, but architecture and its spread and influence through culture.
Limited shows here, hosted panel talks, so we're really open to anything and how we can engage with the community.
Oh, look at that.
Jiminy and I met in the art space, and when we first bought this house, we bought it with the intention of activating it for arts arts-related events and programming. So we're excited about partnering with a lot of different people and working with a lot of different artists, designers, collaborators, and presenting new and interesting ways to experience home life. And also, if we can challenge and make people think a little bit differently about how they could approach a kitchen build or how they can approach a bathroom build, then I feel like we did our job. And we'd like to open up the idea of residencies, but we're also super fluid and open to any proposals. So we always tell people that are creators or artists or performers to approach us if you have ideas, because I think it's about just like opening up the space to those people and allowing those experiences to happen.
That's cool. It's a beautiful video. Really great short video, right? And I thought it was over, but no, there's more. So this is a film by Michael Wolff, which was the guy they talked about, the grandson, I believe. And it was filmed by 𝗦𝗫𝗧𝗦𝗫𝗧𝗧𝗦𝗫𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧
when I was about
Oh, it
5
did
or
look
6
like
years
that.
old.
That's cool.
My father was the practical man. My mother was the visionary.
Look at the foundation, dang. It's always amazing to see how they built these back in the day, right? No computers, nothing like that. So just all hand blueprints and mylar. There's the wood framing. Wow, it's all wood framing. I thought there'd be some steel in here.
My family is a Jewish family. Started in Stern
So I guess that's the main
New
guy.
York, a prominent store. This family was a prominent Jewish family in the community. So anyone who came here would know that Benjamin Victor Wolfe and Ruth Samuels were of Jewish heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And had they known that Philip Johnson, who they hired after the war, had beliefs before the war that were Nazi beliefs, they would have never hired him. But obviously they didn't know. And obviously he knew who they were. And the fact that he would want to commission something that he thought would be a work of art with people who were Jews says something about his own personal reformation.
And he did change a lot, like from his post-war thinking, right? He actively, after that had come out, right? He really moved away from that. He was, I mean, you know. So to his credit, yeah, he did. You know, he tried his life afterwards to reform and produce, you know, architecture and, you know, kind of try to move away from that past that he had achieved. So that's why you really don't hear that story being told about Philip Johnson, because it wasn't his character that he, you know, it was a time and a moment he made a dumb mistake, right? So, and it's really powerful to hear this family who knew afterwards what, you know.
My parents loved this place.
It's a beautiful, oh, look at, oh,
They cherished Philip Johnson's vision. He gave them what they wanted.
that's cool.
Never.
And that was our quick video. I think it was the quickest one we've done, right? Anyways, you guys should look into Philip Johnson, look into Open Spaces. It's a great YouTube channel. They have these little cool interviews with these homes, and I think it goes to show that, you know, not every architect is perfect, right? Philip Johnson had his little quirks, and yes, he did have some Nazi sympathy back in the day, right? But he actively pushed away from that in his future career and really actively helped bring in a lot of the modern architecture you guys know today in the USA. He brought everything in because he was both a critic, a writer, and an architect himself when he enrolled for his master's. A lot of the modern skyscrapers you guys see today has been influenced by him and Mies van der Rohe. But cool little video I want to talk about, just a, you know, nice little house to see, you know, so you guys could see that even a little house like this has more culture, more spunk, more design than some of these huge $180 million mansions, right? And I guess the point I'm coming across is, you know, any developers seeing this videos, right? Like, design better. You guys have the money the freedom to design better. Hire a great architect, that can give you guys a building that can be iconic. Because you never know, maybe one thing you guys design one day or build is going to be, say they're going to say, oh, that was a 𝗠𝗘𝗃, right? And what's more important, money or history, right? I personally think history is more important, right? Because, there's still buildings today and houses today that people remember, right? People remember through history, right? And that was always my goal, right? As I'm going through my career, right? Eventually, I want to make a house or a building, and I want that to be my legacy for my children, right? So that one day they can be like, hey, my dad designed that, right? And that's kind of how this is. It's like you get inspired by people like Philip Johnson, Frank Lloyd Wright, to made these iconic homes that speak to American architecture that have stood the test of time, and we're still discovering stuff. Like we still discovered some Frank Lloyd Wright projects. Anyways, that's my video for all you students, architecture lovers, everybody. I recommend you guys watch some of these architect videos and not more of the building videos. But the more you're familiar with architecture, the more you'll be informed, and maybe you'll recognize a cool building on your way home. Anyways, Blueprints and Barbells, thank you guys for coming. Click and subscribe. I'll edit. These are usually raw videos. I really just put them out there. They're not the usual edit ones, but I hope you guys like it. Thank you. We're getting 82 subscribers now, so we're approaching 100 subscribers. So I think maybe for the 100th subscriber, I will send you guys a book. So let me see. We'll pick one out random from this library of books. Let's go pick one out right now. Oh, what do we got here? Okay. So, for whoever, once we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a random giveaway, and we're going to hand you guys this book here. So this is Architecture, Materials, and Innovation. So it's a great book. It talks about all the cool buildings and their materiality and things like that. I forgot where I got this. I think I bought it in one of my field trips. But great book. Talks about materials, their qualities, their what they can and cannot do, and all that good stuff. So, hey, we have some sketches. Let's look in here. What the heck is this? I don't remember doing this. Why did I do this? Is this even mine? Let's check. How is this? Spatial modularity assignment. So that was an assignment. Guess I might have done it. Anyways, thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. So once we get 100 subscribers, one of you lucky guys to get this book. You probably could find it, but it's my gift to you guys. Or maybe we'll do a pre-workout giveaway. So we'll see. Whichever lines up. When we could do both. We can do a book giveaway and a pre-workout. There you go. I think we'll give out my favorite one right now, which is going to be Edge of Insanity. So, once we get to 100 subscribers, I'll do like a random thing, and then whoever gets the subscription will win. Or we can do it on the 100th video. How do we do it? I don't know. Click in the comment below how we should do it. I think maybe we should make a video saying we're going to give away a book and a pre-workout. And then out of all those comments, we'll pick a random one right there. Or we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys. See you. Enjoy.